Yeah, it's a GoPro.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't realize.
You've never used one of these yet?
I've been looking at them. I think I'd like to buy one. But,
They're so cheap. This is a Hero 2.
yeah.
Real cheap. Use it all the time.
What is it? About $300-400?
No, actually, complete kit with mounting and all like that. I think you can get them for about 200 now. The Hero 3 with all the goodies is, I think, when I was at the Marine Corps Air Station Cherry Point, Mike Marthaler was looking at those, and it was $278. I paid, I think, $280 for this 3 years ago. This is 3 years old, and I like it.
Yeah.
So we're having dinner at Luis Melendez and Mary Lou Melendez house in Lake Havasu City, Arizona. And we just finished a great dinner. During the dinner, you told me about Lyle Cameron and that you helped with a commercial that was kind of unique. Can you tell me that again?
Lucky Lager had come out with the twist, what they call it, a twist, where you twist the cap off the beer. No
Yeah,
longer.
not like the beer that you had, the Modelo, and you had to get a bottle opener because
Yeah, I didn't know anybody bottled a beer like that where you needed a bottle opener. But back in either early 65, maybe late 64, 1964, 65, 1965, Lucky Lager introduced the twist. They had a name for it, twist cap or something, where you could, without a bottle opener, you could remove the cap off the bottle of beer just by twisting it off. And so they wanted to do a commercial of a skydiver in free fall, twisting the cap off of the bottle of beer. And so Lyle we went to Elsinore during the week, and Lyle had his friend there with a Cherokee 6, I believe it was the airplane, a Cherokee 6. And I was in a Cessna, and we were flying in formation. And Lyle, I was using Lyle's gun camera with a 100-foot 16 millimeter magazine, and he exited the Cherokee 6. And that was my job to film that exit. And that's all it was, just that exit from a distance. So then the next time we went up, I had to go out on my own and jump with that camera and shoot. It was a cloudy day. We needed clouds. And so I needed to go. What they wanted was footage of clouds just vertically going up past. And so I jumped out, and I had to lay out flat and not move a muscle. I could not move the camera. I had to keep the camera very still and shoot as the clouds were just going up past my lens. And this was used for the background for the actor that they used in the commercial. What happened is you see a Cherokee 6, you see a skydiver come out and exit, and then it cuts to a skydiver full face on, and he's got a bottle of beer in his hand, and he twists the cap off that bottle of beer. Well, in the background of that diver, that actor, the clouds are rushing up to give the effect that he's in free fall. And that was what I did. I shot the footage for that cloud coverage going up in the background. I'm having difficulty explaining that, but
yeah,
that's all there was to it. I could not look at the ground. I had to more or less keep track of the time in we went out at 12,500 feet. So I had to more or less calculate my time, and I was lucky. I opened at a decent altitude. It was below 3,000, but it was decent. And
how heavy was that gun? That was you say a gun camera?
yeah, this was I have the model number there in my office, but it's not I believe the N6 or what is it, N9, the little small camera. This was a nice big camera with it had a pretty good weight to it.
How much?
I can't remember the weight. It was I weighed it, but yeah, it was a neck breaker if you weren't careful. Let me put it that way.
So it was more than 12 pounds?
No, I would say, well, wait a minute. With the fisheye lens, it might have been more than 12 pounds.
And you weighed?
I weighed A measly, I believe at that time, 150 pounds. But my neck had, with doing camera jumps, my neck went from a 14 and a half to a 16. And now, since I haven't jumped the camera in a long time, my neck has gone back down to a 15. Now I'm a 15. No, I'm a 15 and a half now. But that was a good result. I wound up with a nice strong neck and not look so geeky.
Did you get free jumps as payment for that?
Yeah, I got free. I didn't get paid, but I didn't have to spend any money of my own. That's for sure.
Super.
There was no money in those days. What Lyle got, I don't believe, was a whole lot of money for that footage. It was just a little bit of footage. And back in those days, there wasn't a lot of money to be made.
What other jumps did you do with camera work with Lyle?
There was one time Nassau, they wanted to, I can't remember, that we had a sphere. It must have been about, I'd say about this, maybe a little larger than a basketball, maybe about 50% larger than a regular basketball. And this was made out of metal. It was hollow, and it was believed that if you dropped the sphere, some people theorized that it would drop straight down, and others believed that it would zigzag on the way down due to air currents. And they needed some footage to show this. So Lyle dropped the ball, and he went chasing after, trying to catch it. And sure enough, this ball went down, and it was zigzagging all over the place. I was with the camera, and it would go away from me, and then I'd chase it, and then it would come at me. And let me tell you, it got really spooky doing, and a little scary doing that. And Lyle was just trying to chase it and keep up with it, and this thing was going on. And sure enough, that ball will not, that perfectly round sphere would not drop straight down like some people believed it would. It's like dropping a penny in a fish tank, how it just wobbles around and you never know where it's going to land. But this was due to air currents and various air densities that the sphere would drop through, and it would cause that zigzagging.
And they do that now. So you did this in 1960s, and now they take a tennis ball and they filled it with pennies. I just had a friend do that. They take a tennis ball, they fill it with pennies, and they take a pull-up cord and tie to it so they can see it like a little flag. And they go out and they were trying to figure out how many pennies to put in the slot in the tennis ball so it'd fall at the right rate. And they lost 3 tennis balls filled with pennies.
They didn't kill anybody, did they?
No, this was over big farmland. Yeah, you didn't kill anybody with that spear either. Was that Elsinore?
No, this was during the week out there, and we were pretty far, quite a ways from the airport, from the Elsinore airport. So it might have been, if the currents would have been right, it probably could have reached the airport. We weren't all that far away, but we were lucky. We didn't hurt anybody.
Oh, excellent. Thank you, Luis.
My pleasure.